the upside of downtime. Hello, I'm Ranjan Kumar, founder Mystic Fusion International and authentic self-leadership coach. Well, at a point of time when all the videos are speaking, all the experts are speaking about massive action and how to organize yourself and how to increase and double and triple your productivity, I am here to speak about quite against that. I'm going to speak about that downtime and the value of that downtime and how it can benefit you in doubling and tripling your productivity. Well, for a very long time we have been drowning in literature and drowning in videos and all lectures and messages of productivity and action, so much so that we find ourselves feeling guilty when we are not working, when we are not creating, when we are not producing, and to some extent we have started believing in this belief that has been thrust upon us from outside, that we are only machinery, we are only machines to produce something and nothing more than that. Well, probably at some point in the years ago, when we were going through this industrial age, people used to talk about production and production. At that point of time, maybe if you contribute more to the labor and your contribution to the industries and organizations and your company as an employee, probably you could have earned a little more. And if you could earn a little more, you could have more buying power and you could buy goods and products for your family. And that's why production was very important, and your ability to produce in a limited period of time was very important at that point of time. But if you just reflect for a while, you will understand that we are not in an industrial age at this point of time. Rather, we moved ahead into the information age and then into the conceptual age, and we are actually in the transition phase of this information age and conceptual age. And you might have seen great examples of people who just really reaped great benefits and made a great life for themselves just by sticking to their concepts and popularizing and creating wonders through their own concepts. So I would like to draw your attention to this point, that how do you reach to that point when you are not obsessed so much about productivity, so much so that it leads to burnout, and you are left suffering in agony because of your problems at a physical level, at a mental level, at an emotional and spiritual level. You start feeling lonely, you start feeling weak in your body, you start feeling weak at every level, in every dimension of your life. And probably that starts creating a ripple effect into your personal life as well as your professional life. So what's so important about downtime? What is this downtime? Downtime is that point of time when you just idle and when you just sit back and relax, when you just give some more time to yourself, when you just don't do anything, when you just you just couch. And the fear most people have, who are obsessed about action, who are obsessed about running from one point to another, who are those success seekers who want to be so action oriented that they want to motivate others and inspire others, that they want to show that I'm doing so much in my limited 24 hours of time, and they just keep on running. And we look at them sometimes when we relax, when we unwind, and we look at them and we start feeling guilty that how could this person be doing so much in a day. And maybe I start feeling guilty that I'm not doing that much, I could have done more, and I could have done far better in my life. If only I could run like him or her, if I could chase goals like him or her, and then I could buy all the comforts and luxury and toys that this person boasts about and brags about, and probably I could have lived a better life. Now, the difference, I suppose, between these two people is that the person who is running is to some extent good, because they are action oriented and they are good at materializing their goals, and they are very action oriented. That's so far so good. But at some point, these people are also those people, if they realize the value of that time downtime, then probably you aren't focused on their downtime. You aren't looking at the time that they spend upon themselves, that they invest into themselves. You aren't looking at the time that they meditate. You aren't looking at the time they do yoga. You aren't looking at the time they do breath work. You aren't looking at the time then they just relax and just be by themselves. You aren't looking at the time they spend with their family. You aren't looking at the time that they just value, they just treasure those beautiful moments of life, and they also are simultaneously creating more of that life for themselves and their family also, their loved one also. You might be misdirected into thinking that these people are always running and always creating and always producing, and that is why they are more successful. So you could be blinded to the fact that they are doing something else also, which is bringing in that energy from that real source of their authentic self, that becomes invisible part of their life. And you are looking at the externalities, you are looking at their external self, their outside presentation, but you aren't looking at what they are doing to bring out that self, to bring themselves to that moment, and to bring to get access to that energy. Well, if that is what is happening in their life, then that's absolutely beautiful, and I agree with that. But on the other side, on the contrary, if you always believe only in action, action and action and no downtime, then probably you are very close to your burnout, and you are probably, in fact, you are chasing your burnout. So if this is what you're doing, you're not taking time to relax by yourselves, you're not taking time to spend time for your own self and with your own loved ones, and you aren't realizing the value of some time with your own self, then probably you are actually missing the soul of your life, you are missing the actual essence of your life. And I'm here today to speak about that. Downtime is that time when you settle down into your own self. Downtime is that time when you forget about your role as a soldier, and you actually take charge as the captain of your soul. And you for a little while, it's important to understand that a soldier can only be a soldier can work hard, a soldier can do everything that's possible because of his strength at a physical level, at a mental level. But to some extent, it is that captain who guides him, who motivates him, who inspires him, and who actually shows him the way that he can actually charge upon the enemy. And if in today's part of life, I don't believe in a competitive world, but if you believe in a competitive world, there is a huge stress that you are creating for yourself. And if you really believe in that cutthroat competition, then you are more at risk. And you need to understand the value of downtime more than anybody else on this planet. Well, if you don't believe in the competition, then probably you will get more energy and more creativity, and you will become more resourcefulness because of the time you invest in your downtime as well. Now, when I talk about downtime, I'm not just asking you to forget about work. I'm not asking you to underestimate the power of action. I'm not asking you to underestimate the power of planning and executing all about your to-do lists. What I'm talking about is taking that little moment, taking that little time when you can just unwind, when you can just idle, when you can just couch and do nothing. And doing nothing, I need to help you understand. I want to help you understand that doing nothing, if you just put this into perspective, you will understand that doing nothing is all about getting connected, all about getting reconnected to your original self. You getting reconnected to your own self at a physical level, at a mental level, at an emotional and spiritual level. And when you find some time to spend with yourself and be just with yourself, that is when you understand even you start relishing all that you have created so far. You start relishing the power of insights that you get from inside, and you start understanding that you actually are that source of energy, you actually are that source of creativity, and you actually are that source of productivity that you're looking for in the external tools that you find on the internet. And probably that's when you understand that there is a lot you have which you can get access to only when you find some time for yourself. And when you just sit back with your own self, that is when you understand there is life around which you are missing out on. if you're just focused on life which is very far away from yourself in distance and time. And when you take that little downtime and enjoy that downtime, you probably are allowing your machinery at a physical level and mental level to regenerate itself, to regenerate that power which can help you propel yourself into the dreams and goals that you are here to manifest, more than chasing what others are expecting from you. And that is the time when you understand the value of the lives of people around, very close by, your family, your friends, your street, your society, your kids, your loved ones. They are the people who are actually waiting for you. They are the people who actually want you to share your experiences with them. They are the people who actually deserve that time. They are the people who actually are wanting you in that one moment when you are actually away in the distant time and period, and dreams and aspirations, when you really want to do so big. My question is, who actually are you wanting to do all this for? For your loved ones, for your own self, or for somebody else? Please remember, at the end of the game, at the end of life, there will be those moments when you will seriously reflect, who have I been doing all these things for? Who have I been wanting to do something for? And who have I been wanting to take along on this journey? And you will have your own answers. You will have that clarity which you are looking for when you sit with a paper and a pen in your hand for planning. Please remember, your source of creativity, your source of planning, your source of ideas, your source of insights is not there in the pen that you're holding, or in the paper that you are writing upon, or even in the design of the tool, or in the framework of the tool that you are going to use for your productivity. Productivity depends upon your ability to access your insight and your desire to act upon it. Your desire to act upon it, if it is good, I wish you all the best. But if you're too obsessed only about your desire to act, then probably you are missing out on the soul which is behind, which your action needs to be founded upon. And once you start making the most of your downtime, making the most of your leisure time, making the most of that time to reflect upon what has been done so far, and why you have been doing this, and what is the result that you are looking for, and what are those dark areas which you would like to throw some light on and work upon, what are those weaknesses you would want to improve upon, what are those strengths that you would want to take the most from. And these are the questions that you will get your answers, not from reading books, not from people experts outside on YouTube, but you will get your own authentic answers only when you sit back by yourselves. These are not questions that you look for answers outside. These are questions that you need to ponder upon. These are those questions which you need to reflect upon, and then let the insight emerge and pop up in your head, so that you will have your access to that innate clarity which actually was yours always. And then that's when you become an authentic self leader, and you become the guide of that authentic self leadership to all the people around you, to your team around you. And they will definitely ask you at some point of time, what keeps you inspired, what keeps you motivated, what keeps you going on? And you will have no answer, because it's your downtime. You just know how to relax, you just know how to unwind, and you just know how to reconnect with your own original self at all the levels of your life, be it a physical, mental, emotional, or a spiritual level. I'm sure you are going to enjoy your downtime henceforth, and you are going to share these experiences with me in the comments below, and with everybody around you. I wish you all the best in life. Make the most of your downtime. Love you.